Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing fantastic. My name's Afton. Thank you for joining me here today. Today I thought we would do a bit of a deck haul slash unboxing. I just got home a little while ago from being on holidays for 2 weeks. And of course, in typical fashion, that meant there was a kind of a pile of boxes at my door waiting for me that came in the mail. While I was gone. Of course, I think there was a Kickstarter, some decks that I had ordered well before I was supposed to go on holiday that because of a delay in shipping, they didn't get here until I was already gone. Another set of decks that I ordered purposely while I was gone, knowing that they would show up here, around the time that I got home. And a couple things that I picked up while I was on holiday. So I thought we would just kind of go through them. So let's just get started. Maybe we'll start with what I picked up while I was gone. So I went to Ireland for 2 weeks and it was fantastic. And while I was in Dublin, of course, I had to look up a metaphysical store, see what they had there. And the one that I found had some decks, and they had this one that I have been looking at purchasing for a while. And as you can see, I left it in the wrapper. So we're gonna get into this guy together. So this is the Albano-Waite Tarot. This is a US Games publication. I had actually ordered this deck a few years ago just off of Amazon, but it got lost in transit. And I never bothered, I just got a refund. I didn't bother repurchasing it because I was like, realistically, it's just a Rider-Waite Smith recoloring. I've got a couple, I want to get it. Oh, there's a little pull there. So I didn't bother reordering it. I was like, you know what, if I want it, I'll get it in the future. Sometime I wasn't worried about it. And they happened to have it there at this particular store that I went to. So let's take a peek here. So I really like the backs on this, how simple they are. And I've just always been curious about this deck with the recoloring. Like, it's so vibrant, like with the purples. There's lime greens in here. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of like the bright yellows. That's, I think, kind of one of the reasons why I tend to avoid using the RWS, like Pixies artwork specifically. But like, I'm liking the blues here. Yeah. So first impressions, it's a nice bendy cardstock. It's smooth, so that's kind of cool. It feels like it's going to be nice to shuffle. Okay, I really like this kind of minty green color that's going on in the cups. That's nice. Here's that like lime green. That's interesting. The kind of color scheme, like I wouldn't expect anyway, this kind of color to be in the cup suit. And then all of a sudden you go to like this bright lime green in the 5 for some reason. So that's interesting. We've also got the cup spilled down here and it's bright red, the liquid there. Definitely not like super sharp on the line work. It is definitely fuzzy. So, and then we go to blue in the background of the cork cards. Okay, so then we've got yellow. I do appreciate that there's like this consistency of like overall color for the specific suits. And kind of into the greens there. So then blue again for the cork cards. So it must kind of be a blues for the cork cards then. This bright green for the pentacles. And again, back to the blue, kind of bluey gray. Purpley gray, and then orange for the wands. Okay, so this is interesting. I do, like I said, definitely appreciate the specific colors, and then it seems like the cork cards are all kind of a, robin's egg blue color. So yeah, we'll see. Let's give these guys a shuffle because I'm just curious. bit of a, I don't know, are those, no, maybe they're standard size. That is a nice shuffle. I will say that is a nice shuffle. They're nice and bendy. And something that's not typical, I guess, oh, I was just realizing these aren't reversible. It is a rectangle as opposed to like slightly off, the symbol slightly off center. That doesn't bother me at all. But typically you'll see like US games, they're like, see that somewhere stamped on the backs, and these ones you don't. So that's kind of nice actually, that it's completely clean. Of the US games like signature on the back. So that's deck number 1. Pop these guys over to the side. I'm kind of, yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't use Rider-Waite Smith, like the clones, like a ton. It just has never, you know, it's never drawn me, but yeah, I don't know why. These, I like the colors in this, so we'll see. I mean, if you're gonna have a Rider-Waite Smith clone, you know, I think that's probably a good one to have, especially with the cardstock as nice as it is. Okay, what else did I get in Ireland? I picked up, I think this is supposed to be a pendulum, but obviously it did not come with like a chain, so I'm gonna have to like find something to put through it. And then I was like, well, if it didn't come with the chain, maybe they meant it to be just like a pendant to wear, like jewelry, but I'm gonna wear it, or I'm gonna use it as a pendulum, I'm pretty sure. So it's a piece of fluorite, and it's got some really pretty blues in there as well. And yeah, it just caught my eye. It's kind of like, I have some crystals like this where it's like Metatron's, oh goodness, I'm not going to be able to think of the word, but it's like the flattened version of Metatron's cube. So that's what drew me to it initially. I'm not a huge like fan of fluorite. I should say, like, I like fluorite, obviously, but it's never been a crystal that I'm particularly drawn to. But I thought this would be really cool to be able to use it as a pendulum. So yeah, I'll have to find something to string that with. So that was my other find in Dublin. So we'll put that guy to the side there. What else do I have for us today? This is a Kickstarter that came in right before I left. So I have opened this one. This is the ScandiNight Lenormand. Let me know if any of you also backed this. So this is by Julia Floor. This is the, what she call it? I think like the Midnight Edition. She also, so this one is mostly black colors. She did do a version of in blue as well. So let's get this out of here. So those are the backs. QR code, and then these are the cards. So yeah, I was just really drawn to this particular art style when I saw this. They are a little bit bigger than like typical Lenormand size. They are more almost like playing card size, I would say. So slightly bigger. I've clearly, oh, did I shuffle these? No, that just got out of order. So yeah, they're just really cool. It's like this Scandinavian like folk art style, and I just thought it was really cool. I believe the artist now is also looking at doing a full tarot deck, which I would be somewhat interested in. I'm not huge on actual tarot decks with a lot of like white or in this case like black space behind the images. Obviously for this it works because we're just talking Lenormand, but typically tarot decks, I prefer it if it's a little bit more scenic as opposed to just a lot of white space with like a person or the symbols there. But I think it really works beautifully for this. Card stock for this is not, I think it'll be fine. It's not my favorite. It doesn't feel super luxurious. It feels more almost like the cardboardy kind of style. Similar to like what's like the zombie tarot, if you guys have that, the mass market, that's kind of what it feels like. It may be a little bit nicer than that, but it's still, I mean, still really flexible, but definitely not my preference in any way in terms of actual cardstock. This one looks like it has a bit of a misprint. Something happened on the card when it got printed, but that's all right. But these are just really pretty. I will say that garden card, I mean, I see that and I see a fountain, not necessarily, I don't necessarily think of garden, but I haven't done a whole lot with Lenormand yet. I did finally buy like a book on it that I need to start reading. I'm currently working my way through Lisa Pepez's tarot book that she just put out. So I'm going to read that first, and then I will probably get into more Lenormand because I would definitely, obviously, like to learn it. This artist did also include, I probably went right past it, extra woman and man cards. Where did I put the, oh, there it is. So there are duplicates, obviously still gendered, but at least, you know, there are extras so you can do 2 women or 2 men. So that's kind of a nice addition too. I remember that, her saying that from the campaign that she was, we reached a stretch goal, I think. So then she was able to include some extra cards, which was always nice. So yeah, that is the ScandiNight Lenormand deck by Julia Floor. I don't know if this is actually available to purchase outside of the Kickstarter or not. I will have to look into that for you and potentially post a link down below for you if that's something that you're interested in. It also came with a really cute page of stickers that I'm not big on stickers, but I have been trying to do a little bit more journaling, so I'll probably just end up sticking them in there sometime. Yeah, so ScandiNight Lenormand, super pretty. I already have some material in my collection that I'm going to use to make a bag for this guy. Get it back because, you know, I hate tuck boxes, so that's probably going to go right away. All right. So those are those decks. So let's actually get into some of the unboxing that I had planned for us here today. So I did go ahead and actually like open the boxes and, you know, took off my address and stuff. So they are open, but I have yet to actually like get into the boxes and take off any of the wrapping. So let's do that. What should we start with? Let's start with the one right here. So you're gonna be able to see what this is right away. This is, sorry for all the crinkling. Let's get that out of the way. I'm gonna pull it out of here. Okay, so this, as you can probably tell, is the Tarot Serena by Mr. Friborg. Oh, we got a tag there. So this is the one that I ordered before I left. Actually, quite like a month before I left, thinking that it would be here. Oh, there's lots of goodies in here. I was not expecting all of this. Yeah, so I ordered this thinking that it would arrive before I left on holiday. There was a little bit of a, it didn't anyway. It just took a little bit for him to get it sent out in the mail, which is totally fine. You know, life happens. That's totally cool. So let's check out. So we got this bag. This is really nice. I wasn't sure, whenever creators send like a bag with them, like, you know, sometimes they're not as nice a quality. This actually feels really nice. I think there's a tarot cloth in here as well. Yes, there is. It's same kind of velvety material with the printing on it. Ooh. Now I apologize. I probably can't really zoom out any more than I already am. So we're just gonna have to see it in pieces. But it looks like, I'm not sure which card, if it's a specific card or not. We'll find out, I guess, when we look through the deck. So that's really nice. Set that over to the side. So we've got the deck here. Oh, there's also a little pendant here of a little seashell. Oh, and by the way, my little decorations up here are seashells and some sea glass and some rocks that I actually brought from Ireland. There was a beach right where we were staying when we first got there, and I picked those off of the beach. So that's that. These rocks are actually, though, from the Giant's Causeway on the, I think it's on the northern shore, maybe? I have to actually look at a map to see where it is, but we did go there as well. So yeah, that's what we've got going on here. Is these are all from the beach, and I thought it was appropriate because we were looking at this particular deck. So that's cool. That's a little seashell with some gold detailing. Sorry again for the crinkling. Yeah, that's really pretty. I probably will not be able to wear it. I have a metal allergy, like to nickel specifically, so I probably wouldn't be able to wear this just purely because of that. But definitely a cool charm that will go somewhere. Set that over here as well. Okay, so as you can see, it's not just the Tarot Sirena that I got. I also, because he had a sale going on getting rid of some older stock, I also got the Tarocchi Vintage by Mr. Friborg as well. I think it was like literally $35 or something. So I was like, you know what, might as well get it. Again, with shipping costs, it's kind of like, you know, let's just get everything that you want at once rather than, you know, doing another shipping cost down the road. So, all right, you know what, let's do this one first because this is the one I'm most excited about. This was also a Kickstarter. I did not back it at the time that it was on Kickstarter, but I don't remember if I backed it and then canceled it, or I think I might have canceled it just for like financial reasons at the time, but also like, you know, how many tarot decks do you actually need? And I've been trying to be a lot better about getting really what resonates with me, rather than just seeing it and like, oh, I like that, so I'm gonna buy it. So I had canceled, I believe, my pledge, and then I started seeing it come out and people receive them, and I was like, oh, but I actually really do like that. I think that the idea of the sirens as opposed to just like mermaids is a really cool idea going from that angle. Nudity in this deck. We're gonna say that right off the bat. So there's been a lot of people kind of getting dinged for things and not even necessarily like real nudity. So artwork, it's drawings, take that as you will. Hopefully I don't get dinged on this video based on that. All right, so beautiful box. I do wish it opened up all the way. I'm not typically like a red or orange person, but I have to say the color of this is absolutely stunning. Yeah, beautiful. Guidebook is actually quite chunky. Looks pretty basic in terms of, I mean, basic, whatever. There's, you know, a decent amount of information. No pictures, but that's fine. Yeah, as you can see, the text is actually quite large, so that's nice if you're someone who struggles with tiny text. Yeah. High polarity meaning, low polarity meaning. That's interesting. So obviously like upright and versus revert and the reversal. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Set that aside. Let's get into this. So we've got, let me do this. Okay, so those are the backs. This does have a linen texture on it, which I wasn't sure if it was going to or not. It's, yeah. It's not like it's more like dots. I don't know if you guys can see, as opposed to like how the linen has like the cross pocketing. It's more like dots, so that's interesting. All right, so we've got the Fool. I love how the colors are, some of them are brighter, but it does have like almost this muted, like muted color palette. I love this Lover's card. This is one of the reasons that I really wanted this deck. I love this Lover's card. Hermit crab for the hermit. Fantastic. It is quite a thick deck. That's, you know, without all those cards already. So thick deck, it feels really quite nice, really quite bendy. Yeah, that linen texture on it makes it feel, it just has a really nice texture quality to it. How many times can I say the word texture? Death. This makes me think of the next deck we're gonna open, the Tarocchi by Mr. Friborg, because I believe that one is all like kind of skeletons. So that's kind of maybe a throwback to that. These pinks and purples are really lovely with the orange. That moon is really nice. I believe there is a typo in here. I think it's one of the 8s. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I did hesitate a little bit after seeing the people start to get their Kickstarters, was that it was noted that there's a typo. I was like, oh, I don't really want the typo. Oh, male nudity, sorry guys. So I kind of hesitated a bit, but at the end of the day, I was like, I don't know when he's gonna do another reprint, and that can be fixed. I kind of wish he had asked like the publisher to send replacement cards, but at the end of the day, like, I think, let's skip ahead. Let's see if we can find it. I don't remember which suit it was. There it is. So it says 8th of swords instead of 8 of swords. So it still kind of makes sense. I am someone who is like big on grammar and that kind of thing. So it does bother me a little bit, but realistically, is that big of a deal? No. But like I was saying, I was tempted to wait and see if he was going to do a reprint or whatnot. And, but this deck is so new, he probably has still so much stock to get rid of before he can even think about doing another printing. So, and correct that. So it is what it is. It's okay. I wasn't willing to wait for it. So yeah, so that is Tarot Sirena, which I'm really looking forward to working with. Well, we're already out of order from that flip through. So let's see how she shuffles. Okay, so not like thick, not super bendy. I don't know if I can do a bridge with this just because it's so thick and I've got little hands. So yeah, probably not going to be able to, but it does shuffle pretty nice thanks to that linen texture there. Yeah, so that is Sirena by Mr. Friborg, still available on his website. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with this. It's, yeah, I don't know why. Like, I'm not a huge big fan of like mermaids in general. Like, I wouldn't have ever purchased like some of the mermaid decks that are like mass market, like that are available. But this one, I think because it comes from that siren aspect, that caught my eye. So I think this is going to be really neat to work with. And yeah, just those colors are just beautiful. So that's that one. Let's pop this away. Whee! Going everywhere. This is where it would be nice to have that extra like flip out of the box, but that's okay. All right, set that to the side. Okay, so let's look at the other one. So this is a Marseille deck. How can I get into this? What's going to be the easiest way? I think the easiest way is just going to be that. So like I said, I went back and forth on whether I was going to get this or not. Because again, trying to cut back on my spending, obviously, you know, and I don't use Marseille a whole ton. This box though, like this is like embossed, I want to say. It has like things are raised on here. That's really nice. Even on the side. Oh, we've got like skulls embossed. I don't know if it's going to catch the light or not, but like I can actually feel, and you can see. That's cool. It's got kind of a seal on the back. That's all raised as well. This is a really, guys, for a tuck box, this is a really nice tuck box. Okay, let's see if I can, no, get into here. This I did not think about beforehand. There we go. Okay, so it's got that nice like extra bend to get into it a little bit easier. There is a guidebook, it looks like, here. Inside of the box is plain, but I don't know if that actually will show a bit of the embossing a little bit better, maybe. Okay, so little guidebook, that's upside down. This is teeny tiny writing as compared to, or printing as compared to the other one. I can still read it fine, but if you are someone who struggles with small print, this might be a bit of a struggle. Looks like there is the like Italian words on here as well. So fuoco, fire, summer, high polarity and low polarity. So that just must be a thing that he uses rather than upright and reversal terms. And what else? Looks like there's as well maybe some extra cards in here. Okay, so let's look at the cards. So borders, again, this is the same cardstock feels like and looks like, with a slight linen finish to it. So we've got the Fool, everything's in Italian, which I really like, actually. I like it when you've got like the French, original French from Marseille, or in this case, Tarocchi, the Italian. And like I said, this is the vintage edition as opposed to like the classic or the regular. So there's all of this extra wear that it's made to look like it has, so that it looks like it's older. One of the things that I wasn't sure, one of the reasons I debated about buying this, and this is just a purely like, for me, like a design standpoint that I wasn't sure if I liked. So we've got the white borders, but then on the like the numbering and the titles, you also have like another gray border or banner, I guess. And that to me, I'm like, why didn't you just leave it white rather than introducing that extra color for me? So that was one of the reasons I hesitated on buying it. Obviously, I got over it. It's still, I'm a little bit like, why? But obviously it was what he wanted to do when he created it. So yeah, as you can see, we've got all of these like skull-like or skeletal-like people in this. So because of that, I was like, I like it. I really like the vintage feel to it. I'm not sure how much, like this might end up being more of an end of the year towards Halloween, Samhain, that kind of a thing for me, just purely because of like the skeletal figures. But I do really like this vintage feel. I'm glad I got this one as opposed to the classic. Bring this up a little closer, keep forgetting. La Luna, Le Sole. One of the other things that, just as like a random aside in terms of like Marseille-based decks, the fours, like, why can't we just do a proper 4? Like, it should be XVIX, right, for 19, as opposed to 3 single eyes, or 4 single eyes. I'm like, that's not right. And I remember the first time I got a Marseille deck, I don't have this deck anymore, but I looked at it, I'm like, is that a misprint? Not realizing that that's the thing actually in Marseille, is that they use that kind of notation instead of the, you know, actual like IV or IX for like 4 or 9. But that's just a me thing. All right, so we're into, this is the Pentacle suit. These are beautiful. And he does have like the, oh, that has a 2 there. Oh yeah, he does have the actual like number on it, which is actually, once you get into like the higher ones, you know, and you have to start counting, that's actually kind of nice to have that there. And it's just kind of like slipped in. It's not super obvious. So that is actually kind of nice. I do appreciate that. They just, you guys hear that? They feel really nice. You know, like, yeah, this is good production quality. I really enjoy this. Okay, so one thing, I'm definitely more familiar with French than I am with Italian. I would definitely be able to tell you that that was the night Fante di Denari. I'm assuming that means page. That's something I would actually have to look up. So that will be interesting as I start reading with this, if I actually remember that that one's the page. Cups. Oh, and this is kind of cool. Oh, so, all right, so kind of another, I mean, obviously this deck existed before the other Tarot Sirena, but he does have kind of almost like a nod to that with these mermaids here, or sirens in the cup suit. So that's kind of cool. Making all these little connections again there. These are nice. I really like the, again, kind of muted color palette in this. I've never been like really a big like pink girl. I've grown to like pink in my later days. These are neat. We've got a little bit of, I was gonna say color diversity, but at the same time I'm like, wait, they're all kind of corpses, so they're, you know, they're all darker figures, so never mind. Three of hearts, or Three of Swords. Yeah. That's kind of cool how he's done that. Oh, okay. That's kind of, I like how there's kind of this emblem in the middle of all the swords, kind of giving you a nod. 6. Yeah, these are really nice. It's interesting, the hanging with like the red ribbon. All of the knights seem to be kind of like this centaur being, like they're half human, half other creature. So that's kind of cool. And then wands. Yeah, I like this. I'm glad that I got this. It's not a deck I think that I would be, if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be like super bummed. But I think I'm gonna enjoy having this. I like this like really dark red in the wands for the quartz, though. That's a really beautiful color. All right. Okay, so there we go. That's Tarocchi by Mr. Friborg, the vintage version, which I think is still available. Actually, I think the classic edition might, now that I'm thinking about it, when I ordered it, the classic edition might have been sold out, and this was the only one that was actually available, which was good because it's the one that I wanted. Oh, and we didn't even look at the back. So they are this pink color. So that is that. This did also come, or you could get the expansion pack as well. Which, oh yeah, so I was seeing in the back here, he must have just, so in the back, you see there's like Grand Duke, Emperor of the West, Emperor of the East, Aries, Taurus. These are the cards for the expansion pack. I did not get the expansion pack. I think that turns it into a Minchiati, I think. I don't really know what that is, but that's what I've heard. But I looked at the expansion pack. I was like, realistically, I don't use them when I get them. So I was like, you know what, don't spend the extra, I don't know, $25 or $20 that it was gonna be. So I did not get that, but I believe you can, if you do want that. So that is that. Let's pop this back in here. In this beautiful tuck box. Never thought I would say that. That's not true. There are a lot of really nice tuck boxes out there, and I definitely understand why tuck boxes are a thing. I just find that I don't want to wreck them by, you know, opening and closing all the time. So there we are. That is the website, arcantum.com. If this is something that you were interested in, or the Tarot Serena. And yeah, lovely. I'm looking forward to working with these. I mean, I usually do. I mean, if I'm showing you guys, I'm usually excited to work with these. Let's pop that away. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink. We are already at 35 minutes. Oh my goodness, okay. What should we look at next? Let's look at This is the Kickstarter that I got in. So let's get this opened up here. Oh, this. Okay. This is another Lenormand. I do know what is in this box. These are pretty. I'm gonna pull those out. I always appreciate like this kind of packaging for sure, like environmentally friendly, but at the same time, they make such a mess. Okay. So let's just, let me just double check, make sure there is nothing else in there. No, there is not. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Okay, so this is the Mindful Lenormand. This was also a Kickstarter that of course came in right when I left the country. So this came with, as a thank you, she made all of these pendants. And what else is in here? Oh, it looks like there's a pin as well. Oh, it's a little club. That's cute. I am not someone, like, I definitely, like, I can appreciate this, that the artist, you know, went that extra mile. I'm pretty sure she handmade all of these. Like, she put them together. I remember seeing her posting, like, little videos on Instagram and stuff. I am not someone who really cares about getting extra stuff in my packages. Like, I don't really journal. So stickers are not a big thing for me. I don't wear pins. I don't put them on anything. Again, I have an allergy to nickel. So like this, I may or may not be able to wear. Oh, surgical stainless steel. I should be okay. But I tend to not wear a lot of jewelry other than my earrings that I never change out because, again, allergy. So the extras and stuff, I definitely like can appreciate it. Do I use it though? No. If I have the option to like not get any of the extra stuff in Kickstarters, I will usually go with that. I don't want any extra stuff. To me, it's just kind of clutter. But that is just me. That is my personal opinion. But I do, oh yeah, see that stuff all over my cloth here. But anyways, but I do, you know, from, you know, I can appreciate it anyway. Okay, so let's actually get in here. What? Oh, it's a little card stand. That's kind of cool. There is more, there's even more in here. And there's a little clear quartz in the shape of a heart. All right, see, that's the kind of thing. Yeah, if you want to put it in, okay, but all right, so this is the Mindful Lenormand. These are the backs. We're gonna open it up here. Your mind, that's what it says on the back. This is her company, Terraloon. She's in Australia, I believe. And this actually got here really quite quickly, considering it came out of Australia. I remember getting the notification that it had shipped, and then my dad, who was watching my house while I was gone, was like, yeah, you got a package in the mail. I was like, that was fast. Get this off. Okay, so the Mindful Lenormand. These are nice. This is also a linen finish. These are nice and flexible. These are like playing card. Like I don't remember what exactly the cardstock is, but it feels nice. It's kind of on the thin side. But I just thought that this artwork was really cool. It's very simple. It has the playing card reference. And then it also has like, if it's positive, negative, or neutral, which that's kind of intrigued me. Let's just move all this out of the way. So yeah, her artwork is really cool. And this is definitely something that, like, when I see it, I'm gonna be like, oh, this makes me think of like Australian Indigenous art, which is cool. I'm not sure. I definitely can't speak to that, whether or not the creator is Indigenous or not. I'm not sure. But I think this is really cool. It's just, again, really like clean, which I like for Lenormand. And I remember seeing the images on the Kickstarter, and thinking, okay, yeah, those are really clear images. I can understand that. Even if it didn't have like the title, I'm pretty sure I would be able to grasp what that is. I think she also had an alternate version of this that was more like an oracle, that was bigger and maybe had like other keywords on it as well, but I preferred the actual Lenormand. And I'm not sure if she's looking into doing a tarot as well or not. I don't recall. She might be. I really like that letter card. That's really nice. Yeah. So it doesn't look like there are alternates for the woman and man card, which for me, I don't personally care. I don't read for anybody else. Sun card, moon key. Yeah, these are really nice. I quite like this. I really liked it when I saw it initially. So that's cool. As you probably noted, this did not come with a box. It just came with the bag, which, am I getting a bunch of, we'll see, right? It's, jury's out on the bag, whether or not I get like a bunch of, I might be getting a lot of like kind of fuzzies and like, cause I think it's like a hemp bag. So I might be getting a lot of stuff on my hands from this. So might not be staying in that bag. As nice as it is. I really like the design on it, but again, that's just me and my personal preferences. So that's the Mindful Lenormand. That's, I mean, these are gonna, I'm sure they're gonna shuffle really nice. Yeah, can't really do a bridge, but yeah, sort of. Yeah, so that is the Mindful Lenormand, if you are interested with that. So that's Tara Loon is her company name, I believe, and I believe it's Tara Loon also on Instagram because I followed her as well. This came in really fast. The Kickstarter was not that long ago, and she had everything like ready to go to the printers, and they got shipped to her quite fast. It was probably only a couple months ago, I want to say. So that's that one. Okay, we have one box left that we're gonna look at. Ooh, had that sitting out. That wasn't good. Okay, last box. This also has 2 decks in it. This is gonna be one that people are gonna be like, why did you wait so long to get these decks? I don't know. I sort of know, and it mostly comes down to the art style. You can probably already see UJT, Unicorns, Journey Tarot, and Sassy Dragons. So let's just make sure there's nothing else in here. Nope. Okay. So why did I wait to get these? Unicorns, Journey Tarot. Like I said, I'm not really a big mermaid person. I'm also not really a big unicorn person, especially more like the cartoony. If it has a more realistic feel to it, I'm probably more inclined to like that type of artwork rather than, you know, the kind of sweet storybook feel that Lisa was going for when she was, you know, designing this and, you know, looking for an illustrator. Love the idea of it though. For me, the reason I ended up picking this one up is because of the guidebook. That's really what it was. That idea of there's a whole story that's associated with the major, like with the arcanas. And that's why I really want to actually read this cover to cover. Yeah, and this is probably also stemming off of the fact that I got Lisa's book and I've been starting to read through that. And the whole, again, it's just that whole idea of having the story through the tarot. Sassy Dragons, I was really tempted to back it. But I'm actually glad I waited because when I first saw that they created this deck, I was like, oh, well, sure. I'm going to get the not safe for work one, the one with the more swears in it. And then I didn't end up backing it. And then as I saw it coming out, I was like, oh, it's cute. I really like it. I think it's the cuteness part of it. Like I like my decks with a little bit more grit to them for some reason these days. Not all the time, but these days. But I don't know, something about these, like now I'm like, yeah, I want these in my collection. But anyway, sorry, going back to this, I was going to get the Not Safe for Work edition. And then I watched a couple more walkthroughs, and I think it was, is it Anjie? I'll try to remember to link her channel below. She talked about how she got both of them and then ended up rehoming the Not Safe for Work edition because, you know, I'm sitting here talking about these and not even opening them. So she talked about how she got both of them. She ended up rehoming the Not Safe for Work one because she found it didn't work. It just didn't work for her. She wanted something, it was too almost like in that zone of being like super, super sassy that then you couldn't really use it for certain types of readings, right? So it kind of pigeonholes itself. And then as I watched like a couple more walkthroughs or like, you know, even like comparison videos, I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't think I need the extra sass on top of it. This one is already really sassy. I just liked the, like the blurbs at the bottom better. It just, for whatever reason, worked better for me. Oh, there's a couple stickers in here. All right. So, Sassy Dragons Tarot. This is the classic edition by Peggy Papez. We've got a couple stickers. All right. We already know how I feel about stickers, but anyway, on the back. Ooh, this is almost like, it's not embossed, but it's got like the spot gloss that you can feel. So that's nice. I mean, we all know, or some of us know anyway, if you haven't watched Lisa's channel, I highly recommend it. But she is big on just production quality. She is very specific in what she likes in a deck. So you know that her decks that she produces, along with her wife, Peggy, are going to be like top notch. All right, so we've got a tarot or certificate of authenticity, first edition, 2024 classic edition, number 459 of 1500. We'll slip that out of there. Let's put that back in there. We'll put those guys away. My little garbage pile off to the side. Okay. So we've got the light blue backings. I believe the Not Safe for Work backs are a darker blue, so it's like night and day. She's got, these are super cute. Okay, we've got like the buttery yellow edging. And yeah, I think this is just fantastic for beginners, but like, I mean, for anyone, right? Sorry, I'm not in frame here. Just having the scrolls with the meanings on them, that is super fantastic. These ones I also felt were a little bit more open to interpretation than the Not Safe for Work write-ups. They were a little bit more specific in like, you know, the situation of each card. Whereas these ones, I feel like they're a little bit more open. That High Priestess is adorable. These are nice and flexible, of course. They feel really nice. And again, they are like a linen finish. I don't know if it will show it all on camera for you. A tricycle is amazing. So, I mean, I have seen like pretty much all the images of these. So I'm not going to go super in depth, but they are definitely super cute. He has a soother in his mouth, or a binky, I think sometimes people call it. Like, that's hilarious. These are fantastic. A little bit smaller than I tend to like to work with. I actually do prefer like an actual full-size tarot deck. But I mean, it definitely suits it. And like the deep, the large corner rounding, it just gives it like a really fun feel, I guess. I don't know how to say it. The juice boxes. The juice boxes crack me up. That's amazing. The wooden sword. Yep, it's cute. I think definitely like inner child work, but also not. Just kind of feel like when you're in that kind of a goofy mood, you know? Yeah, these are cute. I'm excited to work with these. Just gives you that little laugh, that little giggle. All right, so let's take a look. Let's open up UJT here. All right. Let's get my finger right in there. Perfect. Okay. Again, this feels really nice. It has like almost like a soft touch, but not super like rose petally feel to it, which is good. It has the like spot gloss on it as well that you can feel. That's very nice. And that full open up. That's, yeah, I love this box. It's fantastic. Okay, so we've got the guidebook, which is like, for me, I feel like this is the main event. This is really the reason I bought it. She's got great colors on the edges, so you know exactly which suit you're opening up to. It's all the small details, right? That's what I find makes a deck and makes that experience even more enjoyable. Oh, Marlena Teresa's got a poem in here. That's awesome. I did not know that. That's amazing. I'm going to read that later. Okay. So again, another certificate of authenticity. And this does not have extra plastic in the box, which is kind of nice. So we've got a nice ribbon here. May your magic always shine from the inside out. Certificate of authenticity. This is 1,130 of 2,000 with her signature. Oh, I suppose that's probably why there's, oh no, that's, I was gonna say it's printed on there. I was gonna say that's why it's open because she signed it. No, she didn't sign it. All right, pop that in the bottom. Set that aside. This really nice pink color. Again, I'm not really a pink person. So that was also, to be honest, one of the reasons why I didn't, the artwork, that stuff, it didn't really draw my attention right off the bat. That's really nice, that stamping there. But yeah, these feel fantastic. Like they're nice and slippy. And then, we have Mystic going on their journey. So, I mean, the artwork is very pretty. Again, for me, it's not really so much about the artwork as it is the guidebook. So we'll see. We'll have to see where this fits into my practice. Because I've been finding like even the, what is it? The Mythical Creatures Tarot by Wilder Heart Studios. So same studio that made the Northern Animal Tarot. I don't use that one as much. And I don't know if it's just because I love the Northern Animals Tarot so much, or if it's because it's the mythical creatures and not like real animals. I don't know. So we're gonna have to see where this fits into my practice. This is probably the one that I'm gonna start using first, just because I want to get into that guidebook. So it'll be really interesting to see that. What else do I have to say? I don't know. Until I actually start using this one, like I said, it's not one that I was really gonna purchase initially. And we're giving it a go. So the jury's still out. Yeah. So I'm probably going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I will probably see you again in another video here in a little bit. Ooh, the wind really picked up there. I was like, what's going on? These guys are super adorable. She does have, I will say, she's working on the Oracle right now. I have no intention of buying that because, you know, me and Oracles just don't, I never use them, so why would I? But I know people are really excited for that, understandably. That's fantastic for them. As I go through them and I start mixing them up, and I'm like, oh wait, 9 of Earth, where's the 10? Am I missing a card? No, I'm not. It's just because I'm putting things all out of order. So that is Unicorn's Journey Tarot by Lisa Bapez, available through her Etsy shop. Yeah, I don't know what my next video is going to be. We're just gonna, we'll see. So thank you guys for watching today. Hope you enjoyed. And let me know if you have any of these decks and what you like about them and how they fit into your practice. And we'll see you again for another video some other day. Thanks, guys.